Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Endless Space 2, a big spacey strategy gamey sort of thing, the sort of thing I've been very much into recently. In fact, last time we got set up with our little race of nerds, utter science nerds, and we got our first little quest. We were told to go and investigate atmospheric disturbances to see if they could lead us to some form of mythical hero academy of some description. Fortunately, on our journey home, I suspect we'll be passing a few anyway, which will be bloody convenient. So, head over here. Lads, what have we got that is an atmospheric curiosity? There we are, we've got one right there. So, go scan that. That's number one. Plus, we'll get a bunch of stuff while we're doing this anyway. So, 100 Empire Dust. Lovely big pile of money. That's very, very welcome, because that is the money we'll need to repair our fleet later. No more here, so while we're passing by, I would not mind just figuring out if there's anything else out there. So I'm just going to send a probe off in this direction, and we'll see if it finds anything. And fortunately, thanks to all the upgrades I've given this guy, he is now moving his fleet around much more quickly. Very, very welcome indeed. But more importantly, we've got 100 influence. I've been waiting on this. So now we've got some influence, we can start playing with laws. You may have noticed earlier, this I really like by the way, when you build things, you can see at the bottom there in terms of political impact. Build farms, ecologists go up. Build lots of ships that are just kind of incubator ships, and of course ecologists go up too. But if you build warships, militarists go up. This particular one that one doesn't have any impact. So basically, the decisions you make in terms of what you're building, what you're doing, impact the political landscape on your kind of home worlds and of your citizens. If you do military things, militarism rises up. For example, how your empire acts affects people. They start seeing it as normal, so it starts affecting people as the generations go by. And that all feeds into politics. So right now, because we're the scientist people, basically the scientist party is all dominant, it's all powerful because we're just a race of scientists. If I do other stuff, however, then as a result, other parties might spring up, and eventually we might start running into trouble. Well, not necessarily trouble even. If there's other different parties, they might bring more policies to the table. So right now, my only real active law is the Oracle of Science, which is the thing that lets me kind of research technologies early, one era ahead. But I can introduce new laws. So if I want to introduce the law probes for all, 50% probe recovery rate on ships and one maximum probe stock on ships so everyone gets at least one probe, yes, this is a very, very good thing. Scientists are allowed to have that. They'd require minimum scientific support to get it through because it's an uncontroversial law and I'm incredibly powerful. So all it costs me is a little bit of influence. I'm totally voting for that. But those are the only laws that are available because we're nothing but scientists, so only science stuff comes up. If pacifists or ecologists or militarists come through, they'll want to propose new laws as well. And again, if you want to go for like really hardcore militarist stuff, you'll need to go hardcore militarist and the scientists will slowly get squeezed out and their options will become more limited. But unlike Stellaris, where like once you've kind of said like the core of what your race is, you're kind of stuck there unless you just do a sudden pivot by spending a ton of influence just completely changing your entire government. And even then, stuff like pacifism, you're stuck with forever, even if you haven't been pacifist for hundreds of years, as I learnt when I was playing Stellaris. In this, it's much more organic, which I really, really like. You can just kind of slowly shuffle away from a science focus towards a military focus if that's how you're acting. If you start acting in a way for centuries, people are going to start expecting it. Makes perfect sense. Love it. Yes, let's vote on this law. And probes for all obviously passes because we've easily got a massive scientific majority and it's a scientific thing. So now there's more probes floating around. Very, very welcome indeed. And that means the number of probes on my ship has gone up from, 0 out of 4 up to 0 out of 7, but now the cooldown's lower, so it'll start regenerating probes a lot more quickly. Beautiful. So now we can scan planets a lot easier. I love the probe thing. I kind of did it straight away the first time I was playing this, and I did not regret it. So back to Hath, and oh, there's a battle going on in Hath. Hello. What's going on here then? And the battle was between the Mavros are at war with these guys, the lava-faced boob people. Blimey, I wasn't expecting. They're a bit warlike, aren't they? Blimey, need to keep an eye on them. Potentially, yeah, we might need to be a little bit careful because it would appear that there was a war and either they ran away or they were just destroyed. Well, something happened because one of these guys has taken a knock. Okay. Don't cause trouble with these lads. Apparently they will mess you up. Now, any of you lads, because we're up to 3 probes already. Any of you lads, by any chance, atmospheric? Yes, you're atmospheric. Go and scan that one. You'll see a couple of them are blocked off. That means basically, like, if they're blocked off, all that means is you need more advanced ships or a bigger fleet or whatever. permanent monsoon. This is the reason why you want to scan a planet before you settle it if you can, because you find all sorts of bad things. Like, yeah, if you send people over to a planet, say, oh, it's lovely. It seems to be raining constantly. Yeah, sorry, we didn't realise that. We probably should have looked first. So yeah, it actually produces more food as a result, because water is abundant. But of course, it's less happy and thus less influential, less cultural, all of that, whatever. And we get a bit of science production as well. Marvellous. And ooh, the ghost of a machine. There are ruins in this system old enough and sophisticated enough that they must have come from the Endless. There are machines within machines, some of which are still running and others that are so alien you're not sure to tell if they're running or not. It will take time to investigate properly, that is if you don't just take the dust and run. Now this is interesting, which is, obviously, I could just straight up scrap these machines and just take the money and just kind of, you know, have some money, and that will increase the number of militarist people politically, because we're just basically started becoming scrappers who tear down machines and whatever. I could obviously increase the scientific political ideology, though it's already maxed out, but that will actually cost me science. But it might have other consequences as well. So even though it's costing me 5 science and thus slowing down my other research because I'm diverting scientists to it, I'd rather do it than risk looting in case one of those machines with a machine turns out to be a giant planet-sized robot, in which case it might come and eat me. I don't know that that can happen, but it could. Investigate, I would say. And while we're passing by, there's apparently 2 life forms here on this tiny snow world. Let's go and find out what the Wampas look like. So, we have found ourselves plus 30 manpower. Okay, manpower is used for ground battles, so we found... Oh, we found some form of technology that allows us to be better at wars. Got it. Having deep oceans that are rich with life, this planet is abundant in hadopelagic creatures. I don't know if that's a real word or not. Those that have adapted to the lightless environments at the bottom of the ocean and are tolerant of tremendous pressures. They're not only a source of food, but also useful scientific information and extramophilic life forms. Nice. So, this planet's got a little bit more food and science than you might have expected. Very, very cool indeed. Let's go and send another probe over here as well. So, down here. And what is the... Oh, I think the other one was a life form too, in fact. So, another life form. Transvine. So we've got ourselves 5 transvines. A strange plant with innumerable tiny crescent-shaped leaves can be safely ingested. It creates a sensation of peace and happiness and is used as a natural relaxant and sedative. Very, very good indeed. Plus 25 happiness on this system. So basically, there's abundant natural drugs, so everyone's chill. Like it. And apparently it also counts as a food thing because the food has just gone up from 2 to 3. So this little snow world is potentially a little bit more appealing than it might have first appeared. Now we also want to take a little diversion down to this area for more atmospheric stuff, because of course we need atmospheric stuff for the big quest that the AI gave me. Need to find atmospheric disturbances to figure out what's going on with the progenitor race or whatever. Wait, why are we doing that again? Oh, the Academy! Heroes, where heroes are trained somewhere in the galaxy. That sounds like a story to me, but okay, we'll go with it. And I will tell you what, the research that actually lets you have the snow world, where we've actually just found the whales and the drugs, also happens to be the ones that gives you high levels of expedition power and high levels of detection power. Expedition power would let me explore those ones that are currently padlocked out. So I'd say, let's do that. Arid epigenetics. Yes, that strikes me as good. The why is, wait, hang on. Arid epigenetics? Surely we want, like, the opposite of arid. Never mind. Maybe arid genetics would let you do the arid worlds, but arid epigenetics is the opposite of arid, or against arid, because epi means against in Greek. It's a Greek prefix. So maybe that means... I don't know. It might just be a mistake in the script. And our new planet has finally flipping come through. My system has been colonized onto Keem. The outpost grew for long enough and has now become a full proper little colony, and apparently it's gorgeous and full of humans, even though we're not humans, we're the little alien nerds in suits, but whatever. So obviously we can start doing some stuff here. Ooh, an expedition onto Keem 1 was successful. Were we doing an expedition onto Keem 1? Did you just do a free expedition into Keem 1? I don't know. But we've apparently discovered it is... Ooh, it's mineral rich. Okay, so there's more production here than we were expecting. Marvellous. And we've got a bit of extra science as well. What's happening here? What's happening? Why are we about to start a fight against the Malfrost at half? Hang on a flipping minute. Did they just attack us? Why did they attack us? We've done nothing to them. Well, I guess they're warlike, aren't they? Yes, they're aggressive warmonger shipbuilders. I suppose we shouldn't be too surprised by this. Right, well, we're really in no fit shape to flipping fight. Their ships are full strength and there's 3 of them. One of our ships is almost dead. We've got a hero. We just need to get out of here, unfortunately. Right, yeah, play it prudent if we have to, but I'd say we need to get out of here. Just run. retreat. And oh, one of you, did you actually die or are you just almost dead? You're very badly injured if not. Right, you fled over here and... oh yeah, one of you was destroyed. Right, so it turns out that the guys in purple, the progenitor boob lava people, are not dicks. These guys are the dicks, and we will destroy them for it. But while we're passing by, obviously we'll scan this atmosphere too. There we are. So this area has a long season, -1 food, -1 money. Okay, don't settle here. It's even worse than we thought. And here we are, we've also stumbled across a quest while we were passing by Dust to Dust. In the middle of a small asteroid belt, your scouts have found a unique crystalline building, a fractal-like lattice whose sheer intricacy boggles the mind. Okay, intriguing. And sadly, it appears that was back in half, so we need to send a fleet back over there, but we can't just for the moment because we're kind of on the run from these bastards over here on the Ugaru, so we might come back to half later, but we can't deal with that just yet, unfortunately. Instead, now that we've dropped off that probe there, we need to actually run out of here, because everything else is actually blocked to us, sadly, so we cannot scan any of the rest of it. Guys, off we go, this direction, on the move, thank you. And as for Takim, we can of course now start working on this. So what do we know about Takim? It's mineral rich, which is great news. It's got Hyperium on it, which is good. And there's something else, a subterranean signal that as yet we can't investigate, or at least, well actually we could investigate it. Could we do that? Yeah, we could just click on that immediately if we wanted to. Lovely. So we could figure out the secret there. We could make it sciencey. We could make it, yeah, let's go for... yeah, the basic drone network strikes me as sensible. In 5 turns, bit more production, bit more food. Now the question is, can we get in and out of Ugaru territory without causing any trouble? Because it looks like there's no... actually, do we even want to go there? No, we might want to go round to Columba. If we can make it round to Columba... okay, there we're just... we are way too close to those guys, given they are warmongering dicks. Yeah, I think there's no real choice here. These guys are dicks and they're squatting on a major interchange. We basically need to kill them. As soon as we're done with the research we're done here for more science, I'm going to start building up a fleet and we're going to destroy these bastards. And apparently it's time for an election. And would you believe, on this occasion, there's only one party to support because there's nothing but the scientists. So far, we haven't kind of diversified away from science enough for there to be any other party. So the scientist party is standing completely unopposed. I'm going to put my official support behind them. I think they're going to win, as it is completely bloody uncontested. Would you believe the scientists won the election which no one else was contesting? Now, over here to Columba, keep scanning those atmospheres. And we've discovered that this planet is terrible. A strong magnetic field takes away from production, science, and happiness. One mysterious signal from Columba 2, though. I kind of want to know what that is. Loot, +5 something, artifacts of some description, ruins of ancient civilizations, great for study, tourism, etc. Okay, that's nice. So if we wanted to, we could turn this into a bit of a tourism, culturally happiness sort of place. That's cool. And of course, another atmospheric thing to scan as well. This place has a dense atmosphere, which is apparently good for food production. Lovely. And that's it. We have apparently done all 6 atmospheric curiosities we required. Cross-referencing the signal information and known hero movement indicates the Academy is likely in one of 3 systems. It's time to find out exactly where it is and meet the being who founded it ages ago. Alright, lovely. So visit them with a fleet. We might be the first to discover the mythical Academy, and it might be in one of 3 locations. Ooh, way over there. Right, we're gonna struggle to get over there, to be honest. Not least as so far the probes I've fired out haven't actually located anything we can move over to. Can I just literally set my destination over there right now? No, I need to actually find something out in the world. I need to find another system to hook into that I can actually go to. Because unless I've got a destination that's an actual system I can see, there's nothing I can... Ooh. Hello. We've detected something over here. Takim, now that I've set that up, has figured out there's something over here. Nice. So, could you potentially go over to here? Yes. Yes, you could. Marvellous. No, don't go that way. Why are you going that way? Oh, I guess that's probably the fastest route for you. So, we could go on a very slow journey over to here. That would take us in completely the wrong direction, but it might let us access a new constellation that will get us somewhere closer to one of the potential areas where this flipping academy might live. Beautiful. But don't do that for now. We've got bigger local concerns, like these bastards over here. Over in Greece, I think we need to build ourselves a new fleet. I know this is going to increase the number of militarists in the Empire, but I think we need it. Now, we've also got the question of Hath, which we can now actually go and get. I might go and build myself a ship for colonization over here at Takim, just to go and claim Hath, just so we've kind of started to get these guys surrounded. It might leave this area a bit kind of vulnerable, but it's probably worth it just for the fact that, yeah, I'd kind of like to get this area started to be locked down a little bit. Not least as once Hath expands, it might bring Isso in eventually and automatically. And while we're waiting for the fleet to come in and repairs to occur, I'm just going to send the hero out on his own to have a little look-see at these swamp worlds, see if they are potentially useful for habitation. Ah, yes indeed, and we can get an incubator going on over here at Takim. Lovely. For the people who kind of enjoyed building the colony more than they actually enjoyed living there, they could potentially go and set up a different colony instead. It would be lovely for them. Found Ren Sang, lovely, plus 50 food on the system. Right, so there is apparently a ton of food on some of these planets, very nice. Ah, we've also got those same massive deep-sea whale things and some extra manpower for ground fighting. Presumably because we found, we found whales, and we also found the whale's guns while the whale was out, so we got hold of his guns. Beautiful. Tell you what, these here swamp worlds are seeming more and more tempting compared to Hath, to be honest. I feel like that might be the better way to go. Yeah, I'm liking the swamp. Let's go for the swamp. The swamp worlds seem really, really damn good. Hath is maybe a little bit vulnerable for the moment. We'll go and deal with Hath later. But the swamp is kind of nice and safe and up here. And there's lots of good stuff going on with the swamp. Ah, and we finished researching those machines. And as a result of the science we put in, we're now getting 10 gold per system in the Empire for 15 turns. Beautiful. So because of the effort we put in, we're now making a ton of money off what we learned to the machines. Lovely. And let's get that little ship heading off towards the swamp world, which does indeed look like a really, really bloody good world. Marvellous. Meanwhile, let's just focus on the military production for a moment. Ships coming in from everywhere. Oh, hello. Flipping enemy fleet potentially coming in here. Right, I think they've decided to flipping invade without waiting for us. That's a shame. Well, we might need to make do with what we've got in that case. Luckily, what we've got is hopefully good enough. 2 ships present, including one of them that's, not that much health. Right, I've literally just sent this bloke over here to do some more scanning because I didn't realise these bastards were coming in. Hopefully, they might decide to attack well, or I could put these guys into a hangar. I could disband the fleet, store them away in the hangar, and wait for reinforcements. That might be safer, because right now I feel like they're potentially, I'm going to disband the fleet for now. We'll bring them back out later. I'm hoping that means he doesn't just bomb them while they're on the ground. If so, I've just been defeated by the AI. Right, what are you coming to do here? You are coming to... Ah, I think you are potentially fighting him. Presumably is what's... Yep, okay. So he's just... Ooh, destroyed... Has he attacked my planet? I think he was just going around... Yeah, I think he was just going around destroying everything. Right. Head up here, fire a probe, and then head back down here. Reunite with the fleet. Keep an eye on these guys, because Takim is basically at this point entirely defenseless. Right, that's the final bit of information we need about the Placidus system. Now, head back down here, join back up with the rest of the fleet, and then murder these bastards. With the hero's help, we should be able to handle this. I'm also a little worried we've just lost sight of wherever the hell they are. Where did they just go? Ah, there they are. We found them. They are heading... over in this direction. Okay, fine. We should be able to catch them in that sort of area. Merge the fleet that we've got. And now send these guys over in this direction. They should hit this guy as he arrives here in Placidus. I believe the enemy is somewhere on this hyperlane. I believe he's about to come out of warp here. And we will be waiting for him with the superior fleet. And on to Keem, why don't you research the remaining mysteries we've got? We've got an atmospheric mystery up here and a subterranean mystery in your own world. Why don't you get on with that while we're waiting? Where the heck did the bastards of Mavros go? Where are they? I know they're not around Takim. I know they're not here at Grus around our homeworld. They just went up here and then they just flipping disappeared. Well, let's go colonise the planet while we're passing by, because in all fairness, if the colony ship is down on the planet, it can't be attacked by a fleet that doesn't have any manpower. These are pirates who can't attack planets, they're just flying around shooting at ships. Now, I wouldn't mind being on the medium planet, because that's the planet that's got all the transvines, but this world is bigger, it's got more food, production, science, it's got the whales, so there's a bit more science and food there as well. This just feels like the better planet. So you go over here and colonise the large swamp world. It's going to take you a while, by the way. There you go, beautiful. And spend some money to do it in 9 turns as well. Lovely, so that will be our colony in time. Yes, where the bloody hell are... Oh, there they are! Darn it, they were about to flipping arrive. They just were taking their sweet bloody time. Well, on the plus side, we'll be able to build a massive fleet and then catch up with them, because the fleet's almost done here, there's a ship here, there's 3 ships here. We are going to be strong enough to knacker these guys as soon as we bloody catch up with them. Okay, we saw where those bastards were just going. They were heading down here, they're going towards Columba. That's 100% fine. Right, head down here, unify the fleets. All fleets together, you guys all merge. 1 mega fleet, we've now got a fleet with a hell of a lot of strength here. There we are, 3,000 strength. They've got nowhere near that much. We head over here, but we're a slow fleet, of course. We've got the bigger, heavier lads. So this is now a much slower fleet, but we should catch up with them and murder them here at Columba. I think we're good now. Yeah, this fleet can easily handle them. And apparently we've still got a flipping signal we never traced on our own homeworld. Maybe we should figure out the signal on our own homeworld and also investigate the ruins. Figure out who, you know, lived here before we did. Tachyon 1, we found a bunch of titanium. Lovely. Right, so we're hanging out here with our massive fleet here in Columbia until such time as these bastards show up, alright? So yes, guard, fleet action, guard the system. Enemy ships will be stopped for 1 turn when entering in orbit. Blockade opponent systems, lowering their food and influence output. Yes, just guard here until such time as the bastard chucks. They must be along this lane. We're just going to wait for him there and slaughter them. I want revenge. They killed one of my men. Meanwhile, the signal on our homeworld led to some mold. We found a form of mushroom that contains a potent nootropic. Which is fine. That's good that we get plus 50 science on our home system. Should the bigger question not be, why exactly are the mushrooms broadcasting a signal? I think the mushrooms aren't telling us something. Also, apparently the mushrooms cause a craving for pastries and rapid hair growth. Doesn't seem all that bad. And we've also dug up the ruins and found ourselves just a pile of influence from something. They were ruins, apparently. It looks like, ooh, you're not an enemy fleet. Wait, hang on a minute. You're not an enemy fleet. We don't care about you. I'm just waiting for these bastards over here. You don't like them either. Look, you're squishing right up against them. I'm not sure where the bloody hell these guys have got themselves to. I have got flipping people watching all of this. I know they haven't snuck past me. What the? Where are you? Somehow they've managed to just sneak past me. I don't know where the hell they are. And Placidus has been set up too. Marvellous. So we've now got 3 settlements. Lovely. And these guys down here have 4, but they're running into more and more trouble with these lads. Oh, maybe they were killed. Maybe the Boob Lava Nomad people killed the Mavros. They might have done, actually. There were definitely Boob Lava Nomad people floating around. I saw their ships. And by default, borders are open, so they are allowed to just pass through as much as they flipping want. Right, well in that case, let's just head straight past and go and investigate up here and find ourselves a brand new area to explore. So here we are by Tachyon. What I need to do first up is I need to find myself a destination. So we'll fire a probe out in this direction, and in a couple of turns that will have found the route out to something over here. I don't need to send my entire fleet though. Let's just disband the fleet and see what we're going to do. I think our fleet of the 3 strongest ships can basically head over here. Yeah, you guys can just head over in that direction, that's fine. And the Scandium and the Lithium can join forces together. Yep, merge that. So now I'm going to send the lighter, faster ship with my commander out into Brave Pastures New, and the stronger, slower fleet can stay around the homeworld guarding my acquisitions that I've already made. Beautiful. Aha! And we have got ourselves a probe on top of the system. We've discovered a new system, completely separate from our constellation, not linked up via any form of hyperspace lane. A tiny lava world, that's cute. So basically, large numbers of inhospitable worlds. Well, we could go over here to this tiny world. It's got dark glitter on it, which may or may not be good. I've no bloody clue. And it's got some Hyperium as well, which again, may or may not be good. It's a bit small, but I wouldn't mind having a world in an entirely separate new constellation. Brave new world this. Yes, I like the sound of that. So now that we've got a clear route traced out to the Volan system, my Admiral can head on his way, but as you can see, it's a lot slower because it's not part of the established kind of hyperlane channels. See, it's very, very slow to travel between constellations. So he's going to go first, and then just slightly one day behind him, we're going to have an incubator ship to set up our brave new world colony over in Volans and a whole new constellation. And incidentally, I've decided my main fleet is now going to head over here to Agaro and basically murder anyone floating around, because I hate those guys. And the first era has ended, the second era has begun for me, which means I can access all of the third era stuff. Very, very nice. So the Admiral carries on his way, and we start sending an incubator ship after him. Marvellous. I wouldn't mind going and murdering these guys, but yes, right now I don't actually have any ground troops to send down there. This is just a space fleet. I don't know how ground combat works yet. Haven't got to that bit. Well, in that case, I'm just going to guard this area. If they try and build a new fleet, I'm going to destroy them as soon as they spawn. Ah, speaking of which, there we are. Mechanized Militia unlocks ground battle actions for fleets. Perfect. That's what we need for these bastards. Oh, right. So some of you may have noticed that apparently we've been making a massive deficit on account of the fact that I may have purchased a very, very large fleet that we can't possibly afford to maintain. Empire bankruptcy next turn, you say. Your empire expenses exceed your stocks and a series of budget cuts will happen next turn if you don't correct the situation. Right. When did that happen, by the way? Ah, -62 from fleet upkeep. Yes, the giant fleet that I built that I don't really need. I can see how that would cause trouble, yes. Oh dear. Even if I destroy my entire defensive fleet, apparently I've been spending way too much money on buildings and all sorts of other stuff. Right, well, I need what? Okay, get it back into its home territory. I'm guessing like the upkeep is, yes, okay. So the upkeep is less in your home territory or while you're not on like active guard duty. So you just head up here. We're still losing money, but we're not actually bankrupt next turn. That's the good thing. Now we're bankrupt next turn again. Yes, that's still happening. And, ooh, but on the plus side, our Admiral, he doesn't know about that problem. He's just really happy to be here and discovering stuff like science. The good old science. Ooh, ruins. He's found ruins on a huge ash inhospitable planet, you see? See, how fun is that? I mean, hopefully he'll find some, like, you know, money. If he could find some money, that would be great. Does any of this look at all like money? A signal! The signal might lead to money. It could be from leprechauns. It wasn't from leprechauns, it just led us to Hyperium. It really needed to lead us to money. More so, in fact, this tiny little lava world's producing multiple signals. What's being produced here? Ooh, Antonov rings. I don't know what those are, but they're beige and brown. Increases money in science. Well, we could use some of that. Can you just kind of maybe grab those rings and tow them back to our space? I suspect our mistake may have been investing overwhelmingly in science and technology and completely flipping ignoring all of the, you know, money stuff down here. Because there is money stuff down here. We could have got, oh yeah, an intergalactic supermarket. +3 money per foreign population, +25 money per system level. You see that? That we could have done with building an intergalactic supermarket, or this thing, the infinite supermarket. Oh, which is better, an infinite supermarket or an intergalactic supermarket? Well, presumably an intergalactic supermarket. An infinite supermarket you don't want, because, like, any fraction of infinite is also infinite. So even if the thing you're after is only 3 aisles over, that's still infinite space away. So that would be a disaster, because you'd always feel like you were so damn close to the milk aisle, and you'd never find it, because it would always be infinite away. What a disaster that would be. You'd never have a cup of tea again. Well, I guess we have to scrap the one remaining fleet, because we've got no choice. Oh, we can't scrap it, because it's in transit. Oh, that's no good. Right, we physically can't scrap the fleet. We can scrap the detector we sent with the Admiral. Possibly this will give him the... Apparently that didn't do anything. Right. Okay, we're still going to go bankrupt next turn. Ah, we decided to cut our hero. I see. We cut the hero. We unassigned him to save money because while he was out on the ship, his ship was costing us upkeep. Got it. And that's actually saved us some money. Good. Imminent victory. The Empire... Oh, those bastards are close to achieving victory on score. Are they? What are they doing down there? Oh, well, they did get the wonderful little Gaia world. And, oh, yeah, they've got 5 systems. We've only got 3. and they did get a really damn good planet down there, including, I know for a fact this planet's covered in good stuff because I scanned it all myself. Right, so I'm basically, yes, I've had to declare bankruptcy, and part of that... oh no. My own great admiral, the great leader, the general on the frontier who was like, you know, leading the charge for science out into a glorious new space. He was one of the cutbacks we made to avoid bankruptcy. Marvellous. Well, at the bare minimum, we can set our colony down on Volans 3. Lovely. Volans 3 has been settled, and no, we don't have 350 gold at this particular moment, unfortunately. Okay, guys, you guys are just going to be growing for a while, alright? Just enjoy being out there. Are you out there on your own? I think they're not actually part of a constellation. I think they're actually just a little system that is completely independent. Oh dear. Well, okay. Oh god. Well, there you are, ladies and gentlemen. That is Endless Space 2, the early access build. As you can see there, I've gone bankrupt. As part of the austerity measures that followed, we decided to ban heroism because heroes turned out to be too flipping expensive. We've basically been almost defeated by our southern neighbours who sadly got to all the good planets before we did. We got completely chased around the houses by a bunch of bastard robots who we never actually got our revenge on. And indeed, our final great act of folly was to send a massive expedition out to Volans without checking whether it actually connected to anything first. It doesn't. It's just a little thing in the arse end of nowhere. But on the plus side, we've got pottery. So when our society now inevitably collapses, because it's basically at the point of completely failing, we will, or rather I suppose the next guys who come along having evolved and crawled out of the ocean, will have some pottery to inherit. So won't that be lovely? So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, Endless Space 2. It's not quite Stellaris, but then I don't really expect it to be Stellaris. It's in early access. There's a lot of work yet to be done. But the stuff I like. There's lots of stuff I really like here. I like the constellations not being connected because it really feels like there's an element of exploration if you want to go out there and find stuff. If you want to find other systems and if you want to kind of move around the map, you can't just kind of jump around. You genuinely have to like send out probes and scout and figure out what's out there. Kind of, you know, I like the fact, I really like the politics. I really like how, like, you know, politics shifts over time. So right now we're really dominant on the science front. We're 100% science for our representatives. But, you know, we were starting to do some military stuff. So some militarists will start to come through probably in the next election. And probably some ecologists too, because we built a lot of farms, for example. So I like the fact that your kind of politics and outlook changes over time, and that kind of, it's not so much a case of making a big investment of cultural influence like Stellaris and everything just like changes on a whim. It changes organically, and I really, really do quite like that. So maybe one to watch. If you are into your big strategy games, this could well be worth a look for you. Early access begins later this week, link in the description below. I think it's pretty good. You probably won't see it again on this channel for a while, but when it gets kind of a few builds down the line, I will keep an eye on the patch notes, see what they add in, because, you know, the game that Civilization 5 became was very different to the one at launch day. The same is true for Stellaris. That's only just coming up on version 1.3 now, and that's like changed and improved immeasurably since the first version. So these games do kind of improve a lot, but there's a really, really solid, interesting foundation of really fascinating ideas here. So I would recommend it if this is your sort of thing, if only because personally I've really enjoyed playing Stellaris and kind of being involved and watching it as it's grown from its earliest build into the build that exists today. I think it's been fascinating to watch. I read their dev diary, the detailed dev diary from Stellaris every week in great detail because I'm a real nerd for that sort of thing. So Endless Space 2, not quite there yet, but a really solid foundation. It could be something special one day indeed, and I'm sure we will check back in on it one day to check. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the really rather promising Endless Space 2. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Guys, oh flip. Exit. All exit. Nav, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to R1. Go, go, go. Everyone go. Unrecognized command. No! All drones. A closed door is blocking the... Oh flip. What door is blocking the thing? A1. Oh flip. Go. Everyone go. Everyone. Oh. I've killed... Everyone's dead.